Okay, finally I'm going to talk about another XE7 feature, TParallel.For. As mentioned, this allows you to process a task that you've broken up into using multiple cores to make it much faster. So let me just load that. I've completely created this demo, not add any code this time. We just have a standard form here with a button for a standard for loop and a parallel for loop, a source of file name and some logging information. Okay, just walking through. So this is the task that we're going to run. BMP test, as I mentioned, TI bitmap is our version of a bitmap, more powerful version. We create it, and TImaging proc is our class that allows you to edit, analyze, and other processing features of an image. And we just create it from our bitmap, which allows us to operate on that bitmap. So we read our file, our image, and we negative it, invert its colors, rotate 9 degrees, and then we resize it to half its size. And we use RF Lanczos quality filter, and that is a nice, good quality filter, one of the best. So that's the task we're going to run. Now our first button uses a standard for loop, and here's how we run our test. So max test is 50, so 50 times we just call BMP test. And as you can see, it's got we use a test stopwatch around it to record the time it takes to process. And here's the Parallel.For version. It's essentially the same. It's not much more difficult. Instead of the standard for loop, we use a TParallel.For. And here we pass 3 parameters: our starting value, ending value, and an anonymous method. And the method is just to call BMP test. Calling the same code, and again we have a stopwatch around it to time it. So not much to see there. Let's give it a go. Now, as mentioned earlier, it's important not to run this on the debugger, otherwise it will upset your timings. Okay, here's how long it takes in the standard thread. Processing now. And there you go. It took 10.5 seconds to process those the image 50 times. It's around a 2 megapixel image on a mid-range computer. Now we're going to run our variant using TParallel.For loop. Oh, actually I ran it twice. Okay, don't double click. Right, here we go. So 20 times in parallel. Whoa. So that was significantly faster. So this is a 4-core machine, and it's pretty close to a quarter of the time. Let's run it again. There you go. As you can see, significantly faster if you can break your task up and run it in parallel. And going back to the code, if we compare, this is pretty simple code for any Delphi programmer. There's our standard for loop, and here's the TParallel.For variation. So yes, if you can take advantage of the TParallel.For to speed up your application, I highly recommend it. Okay, so that's really all I have for you today. Unfortunately, I'm not available for Q&A due to other commitments, but please feel free to email me at nigelexecute.com. Visit our webpage. We've got over 100 demos that are fully compiled. You can just run them straight from our webpage. We also have a trial edition of Imagen available, and that's in Delphi if you use Get It, or you can download it from our webpage, www.imagen.com. Thanks for your time today.